After all this time, so like now I have a ripe fruit that somebody's gonna eat. It's great, yeah.
We'll see you in court.
Thank you. Have a nice day.
Oh, hi, Mark.
It's delicious. Oh my God!
Congratulations on your debut feature. How do you feel having it out there in the world now?
Oh, I feel fantastic. Yeah, especially after I got the review, it kind of reassured me that there is something in there. So yeah, it feels really, really good.
And you've just had a few days at the International Film Festival Rotterdam, where it had its world premiere. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Were you able to sit in with an audience, or were you sort of hiding behind the scenes?
No, I was sitting throughout the whole film. I kind of I really decided beforehand that I was gonna be brave, and just stand by my film and I don't know how to say that in English, but I just decided that this was gonna, yeah, and I just, how do you say it in English? Just like support the film 100% the way it is. This is what it is, and I stand by it, basically. So
Embrace the film.
yeah, embrace it. Exactly. Yeah. And the questions I got afterwards, there was like two Q&As. They were just so juicy and nice and fun to reply to. I was really happy with the audience, and it was sold out the whole three times. Yeah, and
Amazing.
yeah, it was amazing. Yeah.
So for people that haven't seen it yet, which at this point is most people, but I think a lot of people want to see it after reading reviews and hearing about it. Can you give a brief summary of this quite complex story?
Well, it is a family story. It's a story that happens over a period of 5 days in one house. So it's quite claustrophobic, but still, I think even if it's microscopic, the universe, it's quite big because so much is going on under the surface that you kind of feel. And it's a mystery why this young girl who comes to visit her grandparents can't be there. Her father wants her to leave the house, but gradually we find out why that is. I don't know what to say. But it's a family drama and also a psychological thriller a little bit. Also, it's human. It displays a human behavior, really. Yeah.
Where did this idea originate from? Why were you particularly drawn to these themes?
I've always been fascinated by abnormal human behavior, like yeah, addictions and like people who have Tourette's and do things that are socially not acceptable and uncomfortable for us to look at. Like when people fall in the street, it's like really uncomfortable, or when people, yeah. So I've always been fascinated by that. And somehow I've just been drawn further and further into that I don't know why, really. It just fascinates me, and I decided a long time ago that I was going to go along with it. Being true to myself, I have decided with my conscience and subconscious to follow that path that I'm so interested in, and I somehow have seemed to go deeper and deeper into it. It's a bit of Alice in Wonderland. You go into a rabbit hole, and you encounter weird things, and you get more and more curious to see more. Yeah.
Did you have a very clear image of what you wanted the tone and the style to be right from when you were writing it, or has that something that's become apparent with the cinematography and when you saw the house, and for example?
When I was writing the script, I always visualized the house, and it's almost exactly the way I visualized it from the very beginning. Oh, yeah. But of course, when you add into your team more and more creative directors, things get bigger and they add their ideas. And somehow I want to give people wings to fly with they give my idea, they lift it to another level somehow. Even though in the beginning it's my idea, their ideas have to kind of bring it to life and elevate it. So it's a mixture of both. I'm very true to my own vision, but I have huge respect for other people's visions as well, the ones who work with me. Yeah. I find it really important to enable other people also to blossom.
I think that definitely shows you can see how all the departments are kind of working well together in the film. With the use of lighting was very apparent to me, the kind of very dreamlike and very kind of stark lamps and windows and almost like a theater set, or like a sort of like a model, like a set model, and you kind of go into that world. How did it work once you got onto the set and you saw the house for the first time? Was it did everything suddenly fall into place, or did you have suddenly loads of logistical things to figure out?
No, it was great. I felt like I wanted to move in there, really.
So did I, until I got to the end of the film. But yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, my set designer, he's such a great guy. He made me a model, like a small, like a 3D paper model that he kind of glued together and cut out and put the characters in and so on. So, and with the cinematographer, we had already, changed the walls and made it so that it would be perfect. Yeah, so it was a really, really good work, the process of preparing the shooting. Yeah.
And you went quite bold with your first film, which is fantastic. I think that's great. But did you always envision your first film as being quite a stark film, quite a dark, surreal story, or was that just what came out?
I know it just turned out like that somehow. But maybe gradually I realized that I am a bit morbid, and that if I would not make a film that was straight from my core, it wouldn't be true somehow. And when people ask me, what's going on in your mind? Why is it so dark? I really don't know. Because I'm not a dark person. I'm not unhappy or anything like that. It's just like it's art. It's my art. It's my way of expressing my creativity, really. Yeah.
And for anyone watching that may be a filmmaker looking to start their first feature or progress their career, can you talk a little bit about the process from going to pitching the idea and getting it out there, getting it seen, and sort of what has the general process been like for you?
Oh, it was really, really hard, I have to say. And I think also being a woman, I'm really reluctant to say it, but it seems like people don't trust women with big money somehow. It's still a problem, even if it's hard to admit it, and it sounds banal or cliche, but it's true. And many people said to me, like in the film fund, why don't you start with a small project first as a first film to make it easier? And I tried, but I really had to give birth to this one. I could not carry it within me anymore, any longer. I had to get it out there. But a few times I was on the verge of not doing it. It was very hard. Yeah, it's a bumpy road.
Well, congratulations for making it, and for making such a fantastic film, and for not, dialing back on your ideas, because I think it really shows how committed it is to the world that it creates. Quite a lot of questions are maybe left unanswered in the story, and it takes its time to reveal itself in what the characters are going through. Is there anything that you would hope or be interested in the audience taking away from the story? Are there any particular messages, ideas, or what you want to convey with this film?
I think some of the decisions I made during the in the film I have made in the film are a bit bold. I mean, I'm not allowed to say anything. It's going to be a spoiler, right? If I say, yeah, so.
Yeah.
But I hope that, yeah, my hope is that people can go underneath what they see, the first impression, and go underneath and understand it in a bigger sense. Some of the decisions that the characters make, for instance, because it's very important to me that people understand, for instance, that women don't need to be victims. We're not victims. We're not. So even if everybody's saying, yeah, domestic violence is basically most of the time male, men violating women and blah, blah, blah. But my opinion is that we have to stop talking like that. We have to start saying we're not victims. We're not passive. You see, that's maybe my deepest kind of, but it's not a message.
Yeah.
I know I'm being very unclear, but it's not necessarily a message. It's just that because many people ask me why are they all the male characters so passive, and it's because I think it's about time that we consider women being, what's the opposite of passive? Active.
Yeah.
Like like active and decision makers in their own life. And yeah. I want to reverse the roles, the gender roles. I like that.
Absolutely. No, it works really well, and the characters are all fiery, but all within their own struggles. So it's really interesting to see those, particularly the female relationships, and how those shift throughout the film as well. So, and I thought that was great. What is your plan for the film going forward? Do you have any other things that you can reveal, or are you working on anything at the moment, or do you have ideas for what might be next, or are you just letting yourself enjoy this moment for now?
Well, both, all of it. We have South by Southwest in March in the States Film Festival. And of course, the premiere in Iceland is going to be now in February, and I look forward to that very much, to show it to my family and friends and an Icelandic audience. And then I have another story that I have started to write for the next project. But also now, for the moment, I just want to lay back and relax. I'm very tired. All of a sudden, I could sleep and sleep. You know, it's like finishing something huge, and then you have to rest a bit. Yeah, but I want to continue writing.
Do you have a preference over writing, directing? Do you enjoy the whole process, or do you favor one or the other?
I enjoy the whole process, but the actual work with other people for me is the best. Yeah, I love that. Yeah. It becomes easier for me.
Well, that's great. That's great. And the end product, as I said, fantastic. Congratulations again on having the film out there and coming out with such a bold, distinct film, which I really enjoyed, and I think a lot of people are going to really enjoy. So enjoy all the festivals that are coming up. Congratulations again on the premiere, and I look forward to seeing where it goes next and what your next film is. I'm really excited about it.
Thank you.
Cool. Thank you so much for taking the time.
You're welcome. Bye.